emphasis, referring to the focal point of a design and the order of importance of each element within a design. So, emphasis. What is emphasis? Uh, Pagka minsan tinatanong ng iba, did that get your attention? Um, this when a specific element is given to a distinguishing feature to separate it from a certain element or group. So, ito yung pinaka-unique identity ng isang design or ng isang art. This can be achieved through other principles such as contrast, movement, scale, or balance. So, mamaya malalaman natin yan. The element of the design that draws the viewer's eye is the area of emphasis. Usually, the artist will contrast one area with other parts to draw attention to it. The region could vary in terms of its size, color, texture, shape, etc. The viewer's eye moves through the piece of art frequently to focal points. Like, for example, naglagay kami ng mga example. Ayan. So, emphasis, like yung Pepsi, and yung Voltes 5. Minsan pag nakita natin yung Pepsi, pag red and blue, lalo na pagka gray jet. Ayan. Minsan, natin siya, makikita natin na Pepsi yung ano niya. Tapos, sa Voltes 5 naman. Ayan, madalas na nakikita yung logo ng Voltes 5 na specifically yung letter V niya. Tapos, syempre yung color din. Yung color and yung ginamit din na effects. So, yung tinutukoy din, yung focal point dito, parang nandun siya dun sa logo or yung nasa gitna ng character. Balance and alignment. So, the placement of the components inside the composition, whether symmetrically, asymmetrically, or radially, is what creates the illusion of equal weight or importance. A composition's visual elements are aligned by where they are placed. Alignment is used to arrange elements, group elements, achieve balance, provide a framework, link parts together, and produce a distinct and unmistakable result. Yan. Kung dapat may balance and consistency yung mga elements nyo, lalo na kung may sinusundan kayo dun sa isang brand. Like dito yung sa yung sa Dark Knight. Ayan. Kung makikita natin, balance siya. Parang nasa gitna lahat yung elements tapos may mga white space siya sa sides. Kaya napakalinis niya tignan. And yung magkaka-align yung text. Same din doon sa second example and the third example. Number 3, contrast. The usage of visually distinct pieces is described by the design concept contrast. Contrast may draw the viewer's eye to a focus point. So, parang same lang siya dun sa emphasis. Emphasize significant information and offer variation or even drama to a design in addition to grabbing their attention. It may effectively emphasize a design's message when combined with other concepts like closeness. Applying contrast is straightforward in principle. All you have to do to create contrast is to employ components that are the opposite of each other or distinct from each other. Color, size, form, texture, or yung value. So, yung contrast, ito yung isa sa pinaka-basic ng isang creative, no? So, dapat readable or visible yung subject, readable yung text. Like dito nakikita nyo yung sa kay McQueen, yung sa Cars. Yan. Pag makikita mo yung poster, talagang ano mo talaga na si McQueen, yung pinaka-center of attraction dito. Then dun sa Avatar, yan, readable yung linagay nilang mga text. And yung ginamit nilang effect dun sa side na ginawa nilang dark, yung shadow nung subject. Then yung The Dark Knight, which is yung example natin dun sa pangalawa, na may balance din. Same din, yung ginamit nila dito, ginawa nilang black yung subject para mas ma-emphasize and yung text na The Dark Knight Rises dun sa center para makabuo siya ng center and alignment, which is pag pinagsama-sama yung 7 principles of design na i-discuss namin ngayon.
Repetition. Used to achieve consistency and uniqueness simply means that pictorial elements are completely or partially reused. Just what parang yun sa title repetition, it allows the graphics or the user to use multiple elements na inulit-ulit lang. Same element pero inulit-ulit lang. Example, yan. Just like this one, yan, kung alam nyo to. Yung natin. As you can see in the graphics, yung using the multiple yan, using the same elements na parang yan, nagma-march lang sila or same estado sa buhay, ganun. Yeah, ito yung sample ng repetition is napapakita natin kung yung emphasis ba nung kahit inulit-ulit mo yung element, andun pa rin yung meaning ng design. Next po tayo is proportion. The visual size and weight of of elements in a composition and how they relate to each other. When you speak naman with proportion, it's about sizing of elements, of how they complement each other. Kung paano may isa-size ang bawat text, bawat element, bawat image to make good graphics. Ito yung example, kung nakita nyo na to, dapat ni-like nyo to. Tapos yan, you can see the text, di ba? Na like same yung proportion ng national and podcast. Pero hindi nila, hindi sila nag-a-against dun sa nakikita nyo pa rin yung, yung level ng tao. Tapos yung day, para maging significant na like national, parang like today ito, ganun. Kaya para makikita mo kaya siya yung pinakamalaki. Tapos like, yun, yung element na nasa gitna, hindi sila nag-aagawan at maganda sila tignan. Next naman tayo is movement, controlling the element in a composition so that the eye is led to move from one to to the next and the information is properly communicated through your audience. Example. Ito naman is when you talk about movement, it allows you to see kung ano yung una mo makita in the image. It allows you to see kung ano yung focus niya. Parang movement lang siya kung saan yung focus. Just like this one, the array of light focuses on towards it. So, ang magiging focus ng eye mo or first na makikita mo is yung parang Christmas tree. Tapo na like itong ng mga mugs. Tapos may paikot ng ray of light. It allows you to see na like umiikot siya o nagsaswirl siya dun sa mga mugs. So, parang ganun yung when it comes to design, when you're designing a design, dapat kung gusto mo magkaroon ng movement, gumamit ka ng mga elements that will picture out kung ano yung gusto mong pupuntahan niya. Using lights, using arrows, ganun. Or using mga like line figures para yun yung gamitin mo in your creating your graphics. Last but not the least is the white space. It's also called as negative space. It's the empty page around the elements in your composition. Most of us, akala nila, wala lang talaga malagay dun sa graphics. Pag kunyari once na pinakreate ang creative for graphics, tapos makita na ang daming empty space. Tapos mostly, nilalagyan nila. But some images or maganda siya na white. Just like this image, there's nothing much here, no elements masyado. Nilagyan nila ng konting background. But as you can see, ang focus mo agad dito yung pinoportray or the key message of the graphics eh. Makigets mo agad yung attention mo is yung meron agad yung element and nakakatulong yung white space to help the viewer or kung sino man or the consumer to see kung ano yung gusto mo agad i-portray kasi yan lang yung elements na meron. So, diretso agad dyan. May pa-quiz. Magpapakita kami ng mga yan ng series and aas namin kung ano yung mga sagot niya. Sige. For the first poster, sige, tawag tayo. For the first image, ano sa tingin mo ang ginamit dito?
Face.
Okay, sige. Mamaya mo na yung sagot Sige, sige, sige. Okay, thank you. Okay, next image. Lawrence, ano yung number 2?
Portion. Ewan.
Proportion, okay. At least meron ka naalala. Yun yung
Tama.
pinanaalala mo.
Yan, yan,
Okay,
yan.
sige, sige, sige. Okay, last. Sige. Okay. Pinina.
Basta yung repetition kineme.
Yan. Okay, yung una, tama si Kim, white space. Tapos, walang nakatama dun sa emphasis. And also, yung tama si Faye for the repetition. So, yun lang. Thank you.
So, ayan, let's proceed with our next topic po, which is the colors. So, throwback lang po tayo sa high school days po natin. So, na-explain po dito na color is perception. Our eyes see something for N data sent from our eyes to our brain. Brains tells us it's a certain color. Objects reflect light in different combination of wavelengths. Our brains pick up on those wavelengths combination and translate them into the phenomenon we call color. So basically, pag ano daw po, pag nakakita daw po tayo ng color, ang nakikita po talaga natin ay ang reflected or reflection ng light. So, yung light daw po yun, parang nag-emit daw po siya ng mga spectrum of colored wavelength. So, bakit nga po importante ang kulay? Sa first, it can draw your eye into an image. For example po, if ayan, may nakita ko yung color red and yellow. So, unang papasok sa isip niyo, um, mga different brand like McDo, ayan, yung Cindy's, ganun. So, parang nagbibigay agad sila ng something sa message sa ano, sa isip niyo or yun. Tapos, it can evoke a certain mood or emotion. So, alam naman po natin na mga colors ay may mga different meanings po sila. For example, yung sa movie na Inside Out. So, yung color red, nag-represent siya ng angry, or yung color blue is sadness, yung yellow is joy, and yeah, may iba pa. And it can communicate something important. Ayan, kahit walang mga text na nakasulat. For example, yan po sa traffic light. Alam po natin, naka-red po yung sa traffic light, it means stop. Tapos, pag green, go. So, ganun po ka-importante yung. So, color theory is both the science and art of using color. It explains how humans perceive color and the visual effect of how color makes, match, or contrast with each other. Contrast theory also involves the messages colors communicate and the methods used to replicate color. Color theory will help you build your brand, and that will help you to get more sales. So, yung color theory po, basically, yun lang po yung pag, paggawa ng color branding or mga color palettes na ginagamit natin sa mga creatives namin. So, yun lang po. Yung pagmamatch lang po ng mga colors and if complementary sila sa isa't isa. So, let's start with the basics po. Yung color wheel. Ayan, aware naman po tayo sa color wheel. Pretty sure po na pag-aralan po natin yung data. Yung Roy G. Biv. So, yung first color wheel po na dinisign po ni Sir Isaac Newton in 1666. So, it absolutely predicts your introduction to it in kindergarten. Artists and designers still use it to develop colors, harmonies, mixing, and palettes. So, yung primary color po natin, yung red, blue, and yellow. Then, pag minix mo yung each colors, magpaproduce po tayo ng orange, green, and violet. Then, kapag minix naman po natin yung secondary to primary colors, makakuha po tayo ng yung red, violet, yung red, orange, ganon. Ayan, familiar naman po tayo dyan. So, dyan po na-build yung color wheel. So, bakit nga ba parang dumami yung colors? Dahil nag-add po tayo ng tint and shade, pati yung tone. So, yung sa hue po, yun po yung parang pure color. So, sa saturation po, yun yung pagka-desaturate ng isang color. So, pag nag-add kayo ng gray na green na shade doon sa hue. So, magiging ganyan siya. Medyo magiging dull na medyo magiging pale yung color. Then, sa value naman, pag nag-add ka ng shade or black or white, magiging, ayun, dark siya and magiging light siya. Yun po. So, ayan, familiar na po tayo sa mga colors na kung paano siya na-produce. Let's talk about naman po sa color harmony. So, sa color harmony po, meron po tayong different color schemes. So, doon po sa Dr. Gun, so, paiba-iba po kasi yung doon, yung template. So, minsan gumagamit din po kami ng mga color palettes doon every month. So, for this month, ayun, gumamit po kami ng monochromatic na palette. It means po na gumamit po kami ng different shades of one color. So, in this case po sa template na to, we use po the color teal, then we use the lighter and the darker shade of teal color. Then, other example naman po yung logo ng PayPal. Nakita niyo naman po na gumamit sila ng darker blue and lighter blue na shade of color na yun. Then, for next one is the complementary. Yung complementary naman po, yun po yung parang opposite color ng sa color wheel. As you can see po dun sa example po ulit, we use the red and green because it medyo may pagka Christmassy. Ayun, so yun po in-apply namin dyan. Then, yung sa Mountain Dew din lang, ginamit din po nila yung complementary na color scheme, which is red and green din. Then, for the analogous po, ito naman po yung colors na yung two or more colors that are na magkakatabi, side by side sila. So, pwede yan kahit 5 colors, basta magkakatabi sila. Two or more. So, in this case naman po sa sample pa namin, we use the color blue, yellow, and green. Then, for another example naman po, yung sa MasterCard, they use the red and orange, then red-orange sa gitna. Then, for the Burger King naman, sa triadic. Sa triadic naman po, kapag based on the color wheel, kapag yung colors niya po napili is yung perfect triangle po siya. Like for example po yung sa Burger King, gumamit po sila ng red, then medyo dark na yellow, then blue din. Then another example din po ang alam ko po is yung Mozilla Firefox. Next one po. Color and emotion. So, ayan po, nabanggit po kanina na every color has different symbol or emotions. So, in this case, yung red, more on siya, visceral, bold, courageous, energetic. Then nag-ano din siya sa appetite. So, mostly yung mga restaurant or fast food, and ginagamit nila yung color red kasi yun yung parang emotional pinapakita niya. Then yung sa orange, yung friendly, cheerful, confident, fun, vitality. Ayan, ginagamit din siya yung mga pambata or mga pang energy drinks, ganon. Then yung yellow, optimism, clarity, warmth, positivity. Yung ginagamit po siya sa mga fast food din mostly. Then, basta alam ko po kasi yung yellow. Yun po agad yun po yung color na agad na napapansin natin. Tapos yung green, ang balance, harmony, health, growth, and freshness. Yan po yung mga ginagamit ng mga mostly din po sa food or coffee or so yun, yung mga technology. Then sa blue naman po, yung trustworthy, strong, dependable, secure. And mostly ginagamit yan sa mga formal offices like or mga business. Yung DMCC, yung Facebook, There's a purple, vice, creative, imaginative, royalty. And then for black, more on prestige, serious, bold, classic, powerful. More on elegant and classic. Next po. Sure naman po na sa unang pagkakita nyo, hindi po maganda yung color combination na nagamit and hindi rin bagay sa parang logo na pinapresent niya or sa company na pinapresent. Kung ginamit po natin yung colors na nabanggit kanina or i-apply natin yung mga emotions sa pwede gamitin. I think nagawa naman po ng mas presentable yung logo since black is more for masculine and ayun yung yellow is for youth or the energetic side ng ayun po yung parang good example ng isang combination ng colors for branding naman.
Ano naman tayo sa topic 3 for RGB. RGB or the Additive Color Mixing Model allows you to create colors by mixing red, green, and blue light sources of various intensities. Why green and not yellow? Green is more sensitive in the human eye. Primary colors in terms with light and wavelengths is green. These three colors can be combined to produce a wide range of colors our eyes are able to see. RGB, introduced by Sir James Clerk Maxwell. So, he combined these three colors, three-color filtered separate takes to reproduce the color. Bale, nag-start siya sa photography. Nag-try siya na ipag-combine yung mga filters, which is yung blue, yung green, tsaka yung red. And nag-result siya ng colored na photograph. So, in 1928, si John Logie Baird introduced RGB color transmission on television. Sa London yun naganap. So, yun yung first na colored TV in the world. Tapos, in 1980, si Apple naman ang nag-introduce para sa personal computers ng colored. So, ayan. Ito yung model ni RGB. So, tinatawag siyang additive combination of primary. Since RGB siya, today it is used to visualize and represent display images in electronic systems. So, sa mga monitors natin, sa mga TV, sa mga cellphone, yung color process, si RGB yung ginagamit. Additive means light. If you combine these three colors, it will result as color white. Ayan, sa gitna. And let's talk about CMYK naman, or the Subtractive Color Mixing Model. The primary colors used in subtractive process were red, yellow, and blue, as these were the colors painters mixed to get all the other hues. So, kung si RGB is additive, si CMYK naman is subtractive. The key lang dito is si RGB is white, while CMYK is the black. Bakit nga ba CMYK? CMYK stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. So, yung K dyan, nag-stand siya as color black. And bakit nga ba si black? Because this black gives fine detail. So, kung isa-search nyo rin siya sa Google, CMYK used for printing, especially in inkjets ngayon. So, yung quick history lang ni CMYK. In 1906, incorporated the four-color wet process inks for the first time. They discovered that these four colors can be combined to produce an almost unlimited number of richer, darker tones. So, bale, CCMY is produced siya kay RGB. Then, the Eagle Printing Ink Co. tried black, and it gives fine details for their prints. Kasi CMY, si cyan, si magenta and yellow can create deep colors like true black. And makikita naman natin na pag sila lang, walang masyadong details. But, pag nilagay din yung black, makikita yung magandang details. So, more on for printing. So, this is the model naman. So, pag pinag-combine natin silang tatlo, magpo-produce siya ng deep color na black. Ayan. Konting quiz. Pop quiz, all about you. Kyle, what do you call this color scheme?
Analogous ba yun? Ayun.
Next po, si Miss Irene. Is the one who discovered RGB by combining 3-color filter.
Wait. Wait, search ko din siya. Hindi ko alam.
Search mo. Sino daw pwedeng tumulong? Diba?
Who is that? Maxwell?
For number 3, syempre, Sir Jim. One of the HSB scale or the U saturation or value. It has to do with how dark or light, shade or tint the color is.
Basta red.
Sige. Ayun, sige. Answer na po. Ayan. Kilala niyo na siya. Si James Clerk Maxwell. More on history lang talaga si RGB and si MYK.
Ayun, so may topic sa Creative Crash Course is this, yung 8 graphic design trends set to define 2023. And so this kind of graphics, the moving, yung may animation, ayun. Unless you've been living under a rock, you probably noticed that motion graphics have been popping up everywhere lately. And this is largely due to TikTok's disruptive influence. Ayun, diba? Nakikita rin naman natin na ang daming motions TikTok kasi that's the point. Also, on other social media platforms has their own reels, moving graphics, and other interactive animations. Tsaka, hindi lang din siya nag-work sa social media. Makikita rin natin sila sa advertisements, explainer videos, and also sa websites, yung mga animations, and ayun, UX, UI, tsaka sa mobile apps. So, examples of motion graphics for social media are these. Notice na they are moving, na actually it has something to do with yung connection with audience, kung paano sila mag-interact with this kind of graphics. Tapos, ayun, so expect top brands this 2023 to continue building identity through movement. Ayun, second design trend is bold, abstract shapes. So a few years ago, geometric shapes started making the rounds as brands sought to couch their content in graphics that add interest without distraction. Well, in 2023, bold shapes are back. The only difference, sharp angles and stiff edges have given way to more abstract rounded forms. Ayun, so some of the examples are this. Ayun. We can see them on website designs, postings like sa Spotify, ganyan sa Slack and others. Yung mapapansin niyo yung mga bright and mga bold colors, even shapes. Ayun, one of the trend this 2023. So, it will, continue to dominate the backgrounds of websites, social media posts, and beyond this year. So, ayun, what's great about these abstract elements is the additional layer of visual interest they add to any composition through the design principles of variety and contrast, making the product's message or social media post stand out. And they pick viewers' attention with their bold, bright hues without distracting from the main message at hand. Ayun. Next one is AI-generated art. So, I believe familiar din kayo dito kasi especially if may TikTok kayo, yung mga nauusong mga filters. Ayun, example is mga ganon. So, AI has become overhyped buzzword across many industries since there are ongoing conversation between designers and developers about the future impact of AI tulad ng machine learning, deep learning, and virtual, augmented, tsaka mixed realities. And artificial intelligence is the field of science which works to build machines that mimic human intelligence through algorithms. And simply put, AR artwork is any artwork created through the use of AI. And then some of samples for AI generator is ayun, DALL-E. Then yung Lensa yung nauso recently, AI art generations, and some of these graphics are ayun, generated by AI art. Tapos ayun, sabi nila there is some note that AI generators will not replace designers, and instead it will help designers and artists leverage designs through smarter creatives with the use of art, science, engineering, and design. Pero ayun nga, recently din, regarding on this trend, there are some who doesn't support this kind of art kasi daw they are just ethically sourced but rather support human artists. So ayun, kahit uso tong AI na to, we should still support those mga artists na as in from the scratch they create AI or ayun, mga ganitong itsura ng artworks. And for the fourth design trends is the 3D elements. Ayun, sige. 3D techniques can be used to better inform, be it in an educational or more commercial application. A single three-dimensional image can quickly convey a greater amount of visual information about a product or an object than a single 2D image can. Examples for 3D elements and usage are for characters and mascots, since 3D for them is an effective way to convey emotions and ideas to potential customers. Ayun, so 3D is the new 2D. So we can also use 3D elements on isometric designs if familiar kayo doon. Tapos, ayun, animated 3D din yung mga nakikita natin sa mga movies, typography, then mixed realities, textural designs, tsaka also sa abstract organic and asymmetrical shapes and forms. So some examples of 3D na uso or trending this year is mga ganito. Ayan. Then, dito sa baba, these are the software na pwedeng mag-generate ng 3D assets like Illustrator, ayun, Blender, tapos Cinema 4D, Sculptris, and marami pa. Ayun. Tapos may website din, I believe, yung Vectari. Ayun lang. And for the fifth,
And good afternoon. Okay. For number 5, inclusive visuals. So, isang part, isa to sa, design trends nga for 2023. Hindi ko sure kung familiar kayo, pero one example of inclusive visuals, key difference in 2023 is inclusive visuals design. Yung progressive visual will go beyond ethnically diverse icons, Pride Months, advertisements. So, ayan, ang pinafocus dito yung mga pwedeng emotional, pwedeng line of race, gender, mobility, and age. So, one of example nga ng inclusive design na I think aware kayo pero hindi kayo familiar yung term na yun, na inclusive design pala siya, is using captions sa mga videos natin. Kasi there are audience na visually hearing impaired. So, syempre hindi nila naririnig kung ano yung sinasabi nung nasa video. So, yung paglalagay ng caption is considered as inclusive design. So another example, yung may mga designs din na created para din sa mga colorblind na tao. So those are examples ng inclusive design. So they are considering hindi lang yung specific na audience, so diverse yung audience nila. So pwedeng pwedeng kahit sino, parang lahat targeted, general lahat makaka-relate dun sa mga pinopost nila o sa mga designs na ginagawa. So yun yung inclusive design. So I guess bago yun sa inyo, and hopefully na natutunan niyo yun ngayon dito. Okay, next is ayan, surrealist maximalism. So tignan niyo na lang yung sample. So ayan, yung design na to, so mix na siya no nung mga images. Parang hindi mo akalain nandun pala dapat siya, pero ginamit siya para magkaroon ng psychedelic images with reality bending elements. So meron diyan, may clouds, merong something na merong shape dyan sa may Coca-Cola, tapos may lumalabas na mga elements. So yan yung mga samples ng surrealist maximalism. Ayan, colorful retro illustrations. Hindi lang yan mauuso ngayong 2023. Actually, nag-exist na yan. Matagal na rin nag-pop yung trend na yan. 2021, 2022. Nag-exist na sila. So ngayon, parang magiging mas ma-hype lang yung design trend na yan na parang retro, nostalgic, yung magiging vibes niya. So, may iba't ibang brands na gumagamit na din yan. Especially yung mga tatagal na rin na brand. Parang binabalikan kasi yung kung ano yung dati na nare-remind sila kung ano yung nakikita nilang visuals dati. Ayun, tinathrowback lang. Especially yung mga millennials, yan, yung mga matatanda na parang yun yung mas nakaka-relate. No? And sa mga younger generation, parang nababalikan sila na meron palang ganitong klaseng design na nag-exist before. Which is hindi siya pangit kasi talagang yun yung nauso noong way back 90s. So parang binabalikan lang natin. Okay, for this one, virtual reality. Ayan, dito sa virtual reality, so nauso na yung mga 3D, yun kasi yung metaverse, parang yung augmented reality, pinapakilala na and nag-a-arise na talaga siya. So, ito yung mga futuristic design na interactive, no? Kung familiar kayo sa mga, ano yun, yung Oculus, yan. May mga designs na rin na ginagawa para doon na nire-ready tayo para sa, yun nga, sa future, yung sa metaverse na ginagawa. Yan, yung mga 3D components. Ayun, yun na pa yung last. Itong mga next slides, these are artists na pinapalo ko lang sa IG. So, sila din yung naging inspiration ko sa mga design, some layout, sa motion graphics. So, ayan, you can check naman yung mga IG nila. So next, pakita ko lang yung mga samples. Kasi yung ibang design trends na-apply na nila, yung ginagamit na nila. So this one, ayan, pwedeng gamitin, design niya parang pasok siya dun sa inclusive design. So iba-iba yung race, and then pwede siyang pumasok sa maximalism. So gumagamit siya ng iba't ibang elements na hindi mo akalain na magagamit at ma-apply do sa design. Then yung 3D elements nandiyan na rin. So another artist. So yan, same lang. Pwede rin pumasok to doon sa retro, colorful. Then yung surrealism na design. And inclusive design din pwede. So ayan, same lang sa surrealism. So yung mga designs, ayan, yung sa sapatos, Minix siya dun sa botanical na elements. So may plants. And then yung isa, yung sa first image. So dun sa sky, merong whale. So part din siya ng surrealism. Sige. Yan last. I think last na yan doon sa mga artist na pinafollow ko. Dito naman, yung artist na to, motion graphics naman yung mga samples na nandyan. So, kayo pwede naman check. Yung mga nagustuhan ko kasi dito yung paggamit niya no motion graphics sa text, sa mga elements na parang, ay, ang galing. Parang mapapawaw ka talaga doon sa mga samples na ginagawa nila.